Hello, everybody, and welcome to Machtails from the Cantina Live. This is our celebration countdown episode, one of many. I have lost track of how many shows we've done because we've done so many. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in live and also on the replay. I am getting primed for Star Wars Celebration. We got a great show for you guys tonight. We have Richard and Sarah Woloski from Skywalking Through Neverland. We also have Spencer Jawitz on talking about the Boonta Eve. I also want to say the Boonta Eve Classic, but I believe it's called the Boonta Eve Cantina. And of course, we got my brother, Tyler Page, bumped up to producer level. Speaking about bumping up levels on Patreon, I want to give a shout out to Cody. Cody was a new Patreon member from our trip to ICCCon. He had bumped up from the podcast level up to the Wampa Cave level. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys, all my producers. There's too many to list, but there's room for more. Speaking about producers, I want to bring on my brother, Tyler Page. Tyler, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, man. It's good to hear from you, Eric in Nashville, man. Sorry he's chiming in.
You know what? Yeah, people are chiming in already. We've started the show early, and I have to say the reason why I wanted to start the show early is because I feel, I spent a lot of time in the music business, and I feel like a rock star, a rock and roller. I'm in a rock band, let's say. I'm not a rock star. I'm in a rock band, and the show starts at 8. But I'm upstairs playing Jenga with my daughter. I'm eating dinner. I'm like, come on, man. I want the show to start. I cannot wait any longer for anything at this point. How is your excitement level for Star Wars Celebration? You can see mine is through the roof at this point.
Yeah, I mean, last week you asked me, I was 8. I think I'm around like a 9. Like once I drop the dog off at my dad's, that's when it's gonna kick in where I'm like, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow and I'm hitting the ground. So I'm pretty excited, man.
It's I'm about a 9.5. But hey, here's the thing. So I'm a date guy, right? We love baseball together, and one of the reasons why I love baseball is because I love like this happened at this day in history. Mm-hmm. And Richard and Sarah wrote this book about Star Wars history, and we're going to talk to them later on in the show about that. But as you guys know, May 25th is the real Star Wars Day, and I found out that was released on my birthday. I was at a party, laying on the bed after smoking herb and drinking. Mm-hmm. And I looked at this calendar and it said this day in history. And I'm like, holy shit, I share my birthday with Star Wars. I found that out like at a party in like 1994, 1993 it was. And, it's what do you call this stuff? You guys, you and Steve.
Ephemera.
Ephemera. I'm in the business of handing this shit out, and I've never heard that before. Ephemera. So this is stuff that I share on Inside the Wampa Cave, right? Revenge of the Jedi. Okay, now a lot of people know it's the original Star Wars Day. Some people might know Return of the Jedi was released on May 25th. Some might not because A New Hope steals its thunder. But my wife's birthday is Saturday. And I found out we've been together for 14 years now, that her birthday is on May 21st. Well, May 21st was the release of Empire Strikes Back. This is the only thing that I own that has the May 21st date on it. And it's a beautiful poster. It's a vintage poster. I don't even know where this is from. But it's pretty crispy too. You can see it's not really weathered. And Billy Mack can agree with me. That's one of our favorite designs from Empire Strikes Back. Hey, Andy's tuning in. Andy in Miami. I love you, brother. Patreon member number 1. So I am looking forward to this weekend. And as much as I'm excited about Celebration, I have to focus on my family and my wife. But we've mentioned Patreon a couple times now. This reminds me, drinking word of the night. Remember, only for 21. And this is the Patreon names. Patreon's growing, man. There's a lot of names in there. So tune in for a prize at the end of the show. And the drinking word of the night, drum roll here, is going to be Madsen. Madsen. Now, there is a connection to Dan Madsen and an event that is happening that Richard and Sarah are hosting. And it is not the Boonta Eve Cantina. It is a panel at Star Wars Celebration. We will be talking to them about that later on the show. But Tyler, I want to show you something, man, because you're going to be at the live show in Anaheim. And I can't wait for the live show, Unsung Brewing. Super excited. But you guys know, some of you might know that I promote. I'm a promoter. And that's why I wanted to talk to Spencer about the Boonta Eve Classic. Just his involvement in that. But this one here, Unsung Brewing, for the first 50 people that show up, the first 50 people that show up at this event will get this free, ready to frame 11 by 17 poster created by my good friend, Barry Harmon, and fellow Babu Freak. He will be on the show tomorrow. And then, God, I am tapping into the vault. I have Tunisian sand. No shit. This is real Tunisian sand. I'm not going to give this whole thing away, but I will be giving away vials at the Unsung Brewing event, along with, we're going to do a raffle, along with a copy of The Force Within Us, Walkers Among Us for you Walking Dead fans. I have so many other things to give away at that event. You show up for free, you get a free raffle ticket, you get a free poster. We're giving away a lot of stuff for free. But since I was talking about my birthday, producer Matthew Rooney sent me this. And I got to thank him for this. Again, thank you, Matthew. But anything Rogue One is worth having in the Machtails from the Cantina archives, especially Entertainment Weekly. This is mint. This is crispy mint. So thank you again. No need to buy me anything for my birthday. Just sign up on Patreon. We're going to talk to my brother Tyler. Tyler, I want to bring you on again, man. I want to bring you on again one last time. Not one last time, but before we bring on Spencer, I got the opportunity to work for the NBA Network at the draft lottery at McCormick Place.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, my friend, that was boot camp for Celebration Anaheim. I did 26 hours in 2 days. That place is mammoth. Oh, yeah. I mean, I reached out to so many people, including the people that I worked with, and I said, is there a bigger venue?
Yeah.
Than McCormick Place? Everybody said, no, this is the biggest in the United States.
I remember in 2019, I tracked my mileage. I walked like 30 miles a day minimum. Because I was
30 miles a day in McCormick Place.
Yeah, I was just going up and down, like, right from the beginning to the end of the day. So
it's crazy. I mean, it is giant. It was funny. When I was there, I was getting a lot of great memory flashbacks from hanging out with Boston Dan, hanging out with Glenn Nelson because he roomed with me. And it was kind of a perfect time to be in that place, having those moments, those memories, because we're going to have those next week.
Yeah. It's primer. You're ready for it.
I'm about a 9.5 with a little bit of ooze.
Yeah.
So I know I got to ask you, are you packed yet?
I'm not packed. No, I still got to do laundry, man.
Are you packing the night before? Or are you packing?
No, I'll pack this weekend, but yeah, definitely. I got to bring some comfortable stuff if I'm walking as much as McCormick. So
you have to. And you know what? Yesterday or the last 2 days I want to share with people because we got the top 3 list. I'm going to talk to Spencer. I'm going to talk to Sarah and Richard about their top 3 things to bring the celebration. One thing that I want to add to that without getting into the gory details is the gold bond.
Yeah.
Because you get chafed in some places from walking 30 miles a day. And once
Yeah.
we're going out to Anaheim, we're not going to go out to, the mammoth colossal that McCormick Place is, but it's still going to be a lot of walking,
Yeah. Yeah.
Still going to be a lot of walking. So, all right, Tyler, I would love to chat with you before we end the show. So everybody sit tight, sit back, relax, grab yourselves a cold one. I would like to bring on my first guest right now. He is the event coordinator and the event promoter. A lot of people are promoting this event. I feel like I'm the promoter of this event because I love what this event is all about. But without further ado, I want to bring on Spencer Jawitz. Spencer, welcome to Machtails for the first time. A fellow, I'm not speaking for me, obviously, but a fellow Red Sox. I respect the Red Sox now after a couple chats with some passionate Red Sox fans.
Well, yes. Well, thank you so much, brother. Very, very honored to get the call from you to come on the show. So I'm very, very excited to be here. I know you had my partner Frank Rich on the last couple of weeks, but go Sox.
Now, when they're playing the Rays, I can't say that obviously, but hey, let's talk about your event because, well, one, I want to find out how hard and how difficult and how challenging has this been, and are you the original brainchild of this event? This is the 3rd annual, I believe. Annual being in terms of Star Wars Celebration. Take me back to the history of how this thing started.
So 2017 was my first celebration, Orlando. And being a karaoke fan myself, I was looking for something to do the night before celebration, just myself. So I was a member of the Star Wars Celebration fan group. At that time, it was called Star Wars Celebration Orlando 2017. And I put up a notice saying, hey, I'm going to be going to Rising Star Karaoke at the Universal City Walk. Does anybody want to join me for a beer and a couple of songs? That was just basically it. The admins at the time of this particular group said, hey, we've been looking for an event to do a meet and greet. Would you mind if we tacked on to you and made it our official meet and greet? I'm not a stupid person. I said, okay, but I get to become an admin of your group because if I'm doing the groundwork,
yes,
I want something for it. And like I'm, come on, that's just the way things happen. So we had I would say about 50, 60 people there. Met your compatriot, the Vandalorian there.
Yes, the Mandalorian, my good friend Sean Hines. Yes, who is like you? He's a karaoke fanatic.
Absolutely, and he came in his Vandalorian outfit, and there's live band karaoke. So when he walked up on stage to sing some Van Halen in the full Mandalorian outfit, I mean the place went absolutely banana. It was incredible. But unfortunately, we were running up against the 40th anniversary overnight panel. So everybody was going, to try to get on that overnight. We didn't draw. Like I said, we drew 60 people, but what happened there? It's just we just didn't have the draw that I thought we were going to have. Moving on to Chicago, we went to a place called Brando's Speakeasy because I figured, hey, why not? We're going to Chicago. You go to a speakeasy. It makes perfect sense. So we did our event in Chicago. It was a 250 capacity. I think we've got over 300 into the place. Another friend of yours, John Drake, can attest that he showed up right before our first annual Alderaan Idol event. And before the contest even started, they were out of pizza and blue milk. So
they were out.
They're out, completely sold out. So John was like, "Oh, great! Now I'm kind of blowing the spot right now." So he decided that he was going to drink his dinner because there's no food left. Like literally, our group sold them out of food and blue milk. It was absolutely incredible within the first 2 hours of the event. We also had Kevin Thompson from the Ewok Adventures Return of the Jedi doing a signing there, and he's also one of the judges for Idol that year. Going into Anaheim, we basically got into a situation where we had to actually change our name. We had to rebrand. And when we was talking with my entire crew, because I have a group called the Mod Squad that helps me out on the Star Wars Celebration page, we decided we're going to call it the Boonta Eve Cantina.
So why did you guys have to change your name?
3 words: cease and desist.
No, I've heard this story before. It wasn't a cease and desist from Lucasfilm. It was a cease and desist from
Coachella.
From Coachella, yes. that is Coachella, out of all people, protecting their copyright. But the funny thing is, it's a mashup name, right? Forcella, Coachella.
Well, here the thing is that they evidently own the contraction of Cella when it comes to anything involving an event. And before I contacted our attorney, I said to their attorney, I'm like, bro, I'm a once every 2-year karaoke event. It's not like I'm having a hologram, Prince thing performing or Tupac. Like, I'm not your competition here, man. They're like, nope, it has to be done. So I was like, okay, fine. So we changed the name to Boonta Eve Cantina, and it honestly made more sense than the original name, which was Forcella, especially being the night before the Boonta Eve Classic, and more of a tie to Star Wars. Just made more sense. And my background is in theater management and production, so I'm always thinking bigger and better, and how I can make.
And this is very much in line. If you're in theater, I've been in music, I've been in film for a long time. It's the arts, so you're not some guy coming in from nowhere. I gotta ask you though, because you were disappointed that 60 people showed up. If 60 people show up at my event at Unsung Brewing on Sunday, May 29th, I'm going to be ecstatic, and I've promoted it heavily. You said you just wanted to meet some people for a drink and a song, and you have 60 people show up. That's kind of a grand event.
I would say so, but the thing is that they gave us so they had a whole balcony area that they usually use for private parties and stuff, and we could have at least gotten 200 some odd people up there. So it was a great crowd. I'm not saying that we didn't have a great crowd. I just, I sold it as we were going to have a lot more than we did.
I see, you sold it that way. Sure. The idea turned into a beer and a song, but then you wanted it more. And then but at the end of the day, like you said, you're up against the 40th anniversary. That's kind of a hard thing to compete with.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, to me, like I said, and here's the thing that people are still shocked about is that Orlando was my first celebration, and I had the balls to have my own event, my first time trying out, not even stepping my foot on the floor ever as Celebration before. Decided I'm just going to do it, and did it. And now it's, I mean, not only is the event taking a life of its own, but our group is just shy of 35,000 members in it, which is the largest Celebration fan group in the world. Which is
amazing, man.
It's absolutely incredible. But yeah, Boonta is its whole other egg. A lot of stuff came into it. I mean, I have a great team behind me, and I also know that, for example, I know you're going to have Richard from the Skywalkers on a little bit later on. Rich, they're involved with working with us on this. Frank Rich, as you mentioned, he's actually one of the admins of my group as well.
There's a lot of, not only are there a lot of fan groups behind you, but you have Misty Rosas as the main judge. You have signers at this event. And you know what? I do not want to take, here's the thing. because a lot of people are like, well, okay, this is on May 21st. By the way, again, my birthday, May 25th, not May 21st. May 21st, my wife's birthday. But this is on May 25th, so the original Star Wars Day. I don't want to take anything away from my brother Jimmy Mack and Rebel Force Radio. Now, here's the thing: you gotta get a ticket for the RFR party. There's still tickets left. Your event is happening earlier. I'm gonna double dip. If you like the karaoke, why the hell would you not want to be at the Boonta Classic? And you guys have signers, and you have signers that are not even signing at the official Picks After Party show. So
it's a whole like event. And now the whole idea that I had behind this event was we could just do the contest. We could do Alderaan Idol again. Not a problem whatsoever. However, the one thing I always noticed when we were doing the last event was the people who were under 21, that were 19 and 20, were upset that there was no events for them whatsoever after hours. It was all catering to the 21 plus there. And I was talking to Frank and John Chiato, who's actually my partner, one of my partners that's actually in the chat right now. Who's one of actually the founders of the group. I said, we have an untapped market here. Like, no one is doing anything for anybody under 21 at all. Why don't we, if the place allows it, make half the event 21 and below, so people can bring their kids, because people are always looking for events with their kids as well, and they can't get into anywhere. Right. So why don't we do like a mini convention type deal in the afternoon, and we'll make Idol the main event. So that way we can get the best of both worlds. We can give the fans that are under 21, either adult wise, college aged, under 21, and the ones that are coming with kids, something that they can do to hype up Celebration. Because this is really, all props totally to Rebel Force Radio. Great show, great event. And I know like Frank and John were like, if it wasn't running up against us, we would be there. Like it's just happened to work out.
I know it was conflicting to a lot of people's schedules.
Right. So I know people like you are going both, to our event and to them. Also the Swag and Bowl from the Swag crew. They're coming to our event, then heading over to go bowling, and then coming back for Idol. So people are going to bounce throughout the night. So we decided that we were going to go and put together this. We're calling them meet and greets. A lot of actors that were originally not asked for the floor or for the after hours. And we have a show every week. Well, we have multiple shows on our network, but we have a watch along that we do on Thursdays, and we've had like Misty and Chris Bartlett and Dominic and Emily Swallow all come on to do live commentary with us while we're watching the episodes, like of Mandalorian.
So where can people check that out?
So the ones with the guests we've had are available on demand on our YouTube page, which is the Virtual Cantina Network, which is youtube.com/the Virtual Cantina Network. We have about 6 shows right now on rotation a week and it's broadcast not only on our Facebook page, but also on YouTube as well. Some shows are live on YouTube, and some shows are, recorded, and then we upload it with graphics and everything, in post from there. Sure. So we asked Dominic to come on, come to the event, because he's been a good friend of, the group. Kevin Thompson has been on, I would say probably about 7 times. Like every time we're doing Return of the Jedi, he's like, can I come on? Can I come on? And then just as the Ewok Adventures came on Disney Plus, we're like, why don't we do something with Eric Walker as well? So we'll have Eric and Kevin, to do a signing or a meet and greet together, which no one was doing at Celebration at the time. Tim Donaldson's going to be there. Leilani and Ariel Shu, who were off-world Jawas and Tatooine Jawas in Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And then
Yeah,
you got
and
Tim.
I want to point out, as an autograph collector, the Jawas will not be appearing anywhere else. And I don't believe that Dominic Pace, I could be wrong, but I don't believe Dominic Pace is appearing anywhere else. So I know Eric Walker is going to be at the after hours for official picks. Kevin Thompson is going to be at Celebration.
Yep.
This is an event. If you're not going to Rebel Force Radio, you want to be at this event. Now, the Swag and Bowl is a different story, but I believe the real party, aside from Rebel Force Radio, is going to be at the Boonta Eve Cantina. Spencer, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and thank you for doing what you do. But before I let you go, and before I bring on Richard and Sarah, I got to ask you 3 things you're bringing to Celebration.
Well,
What?
well, first and
What's in
foremost,
the bag?
I mean, I'm gonna give you advice because I'm actually flying out right after Boonta. I'm actually missing Celebration entirely because my brother is getting married on Naboo. I'm flying to Lake Como, Italy for my brother's wedding. He's
Oh
getting
my
married.
God.
He's getting married.
That's amazing.
He's getting married on the balcony. So I said to
That
my
is
brother, I was like,
crazy.
okay, if I'm missing Celebration, I am wearing a Jedi robe during your ceremony. And he's like, go ahead. So I'm gonna get a picture in the courtyard with my back like Anakin, and my wife and I are gonna recreate, the I hate sand thing on the balcony after the wedding. But yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
if I'm missing Celebration, it's a good excuse. I'm going to Italy. I'm going to Naboo. Like, how can you beat that?
Well, now your brother's getting married there? Is your brother a Star Wars fan?
My brother is not obviously not as big as I am, but he is into it because of me. His wife is
Okay.
Italian, so her family's from Milan. So it's only like an hour drive from Milan to Como.
Yeah, right.
So like I'm having serious FOMO right now that I'm not going to be there for actual con. But like I said, I'm gonna be there on Monday, hitting the parks, with some friends, and then Tuesday night we got a bar night at the Hilton. Just general meet and greet, and then
Yeah.
Boonta. So I'm excited. I'm at least going to get to see some of my Star Wars family before I have to bounce out. But 3 things I would say to recommend to bring the celebration. First one, and I know it's a little bit cliche, is I'm going to say battery pack. Celebration 2017. I was online for Timothy Zahn, waited 2 hours on Sunday. Battery ran out on my phone. Didn't think about it at all. Luckily, someone in line had a second brick with them. I don't go anywhere without my brick. Like I'll go to a concert, other cons, whatever. The brick is always on me. So that's the first thing I would always recommend that you bring to Celebration. The second thing I'll always, and is also as cliche as well, is hygiene stuff, deodorant and breath mints. I mean, we all know that
You'll
there's
do
a lot.
everybody a favor. You'll do everybody a favor if you do that. You know what I mean? You have to have the hygiene stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can't stop people crop dusting throughout the autograph hall because that just happens no matter what. But
I've been guilty for crop dusting the ICC
oh,
and in Nashville. So yes, hygiene is super important, and blocking out other people's bad hygiene at the same time.
absolutely. And I'm gonna actually say something that I think is more personal towards me that I think that other people would do as well. Is if you were an autograph person, bring your own pens. Bring Sharpies, paint pens.
You're speaking like my brother Frank Rich. He said, "Bring that
absolutely
magical pen."
Absolutely, because the thing is that unfortunately a lot of these actors are doing assembly line. Boom, 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 and they're running with the pen until it dies, and they're really not going to care if your autograph looks like shit. So at least with your pen, you know how many people have touched that pen. You know how many people have used it. You could toss it right afterwards, and that way you're getting the color you want. I mean, the only person who might not take your pen is Anthony Daniels, and he's notorious for not taking people's pens. He's also notorious for saying, "I'm doing my own colors, and that's it." Okay, Mr. Daniels, you're a legend. You're OT. I understand that. I respect that. But everybody else seems to be very good. But I would say, as an autograph collector, if you have your own pens, you're not going to be disappointed because at least you can control how your autograph is going to visualize on the item that you want, that you spend your time, your hard-earned money, and you scheduled your time, your celebration around. I would hate for
Yeah.
somebody. And I hope that they does it. But I would hate for somebody to pay $300 for Ewan McGregor, and his Sharpie is running out, and you're utilizing one of the Shield pictures from Official Pics that they're known for, that gets sold blank for a lot of money, and
Yeah.
Ewan's pen dries the F out. So
You know what you're doing right now? You are creating Star Wars Celebration anxiety.
like we need any more of that shit, like seriously, we don't need any more anxiety. But seriously, Cris, thank you so much for having me on here.
Spencer, thank you. Again, YouTube, the virtual canteen on YouTube, correct?
Yes, it's the Virtual Cantina Network. Check it out. Also, like I said, I want to see you at the Boonta Eve Cantina.
I will be there, and I will make sure you get one of these buttons May 25th at what's the name of the venue again? We got to throw the name of the venue out there.
Okay, so the name of the venue is Biggs, only with one G.
Biggs.
Not Biggs like Biggs Darklighter. Just Biggs Bar and Grill in Fullerton. It's only a 10-minute drive. Also want to plug another one of our people that we're having on the meet and greet, even though she is on the after hour. Samantha Aline, who is the first female stormtrooper at Boonta. So she'll be at Boonta the night before being at the other event after hours. So you got
and
that.
She better have a Rogue One photo, because that's what I want her to sign. I know she was in Rogue One.
Absolutely. So got all that. You got Misty as one of the judges for Alderaan Idol. You got 13 singers that we did a pre-show contest online with the Skywalkers. We have 13 singers right now lined up for this title. Our trophies are actually kyber crystals that are about that big, that we had made, which is pretty awesome. So very excited. Like I said, 4 to 8 o'clock, all ages, 8 o'clock onwards. We got great drink specials, including the Wretched Blue Milk, a Mandalorian Mai Tai, and Liquid Schwartz as a shot. So for your birthday, Cris, we're going to have a Liquid Schwartz, which is actually a kamikaze shot. Great food.
I think before I leave the Boonta Eve event, I'm going to have one drink of each, and then I'm going to find my way to RFR, and then I don't know how I'm going to find my way home.
Hey, you know something? It's celebration. What happens in celebration just ends up on Facebook. No one else knows about it. No, I'm kidding. But once again, I was very honored the fact that you asked me to join this, and the show tonight, and hearing from my two friends, John Drake and Sean Hines, who are both in round 1 of Alderaan Idol. Make sure
one of those guys is going to win. I know John Drake thinks they're going to tie. I think the Mandalorian's going to steal the show. John might have a better voice than Sean. I don't know, but you know what? You got to go to the Boonta Eve event to find out. Spencer, thank you again, brother. We will see you in Anaheim on my birthday.
Yeah, see you next week, and be well, and may the Force be with you.
Cheers, my friend. Without further ado, I want to bring on Richard and his wife, Sarah, from Skywalking Through Neverland. I was on their show quite a while ago promoting the real fans of the saga, and I was at your event in Chicago. Thank you, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Cris Macht. And I know at Boonta Eve Cantina, we're all going to have a few drinks. So if I don't say it then, I want to say it now. Happy birthday.
I am sure you will have the opportunity to say it there, because I really do feel like I'm going to spend at least a couple hours there. You guys are a part of that event, but you guys are part of so much else at Celebration. One thing, you guys are doing something from the podcast stage, but not just something. You guys are doing a variety show. And Eric,
got to bring back the 70s. That's right. Got to bring back the 70s. It's the Skywalking Network variety show.
I mean, I think that is, how many people are part of the show, and is it all music related, or is there comedy and magic and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna have clowns and dancing penguins, and Yeah, all
Porgs.
the fun stuff. You know, a band from the '60s, and then we're gonna tell them all to wait on the side because we want to highlight all the shows on the Skywalking Network. We have shows like Star Warsologies, which focuses on science and Star Wars. The Neverland Clubhouse, which focuses on Disney, and they'll be doing a Disney Star Wars presentation. Collectopolis, which focuses on collecting. The Max Effects podcast, which is hosted by Max Cervantes, who works in the special effects industry. And his show, he goes through all of the films he's worked on and gives you behind the scenes stories, like on Star Trek and Beetlejuice and the latest Jackass movie.
Wait,
So
this is all part of the variety show?
Yes. Yeah, and no, but there's more because Eric Walker, Mace Tuwani from the Ewok Adventure is going to be there doing a little musical set, and as a special guest, we're going to have Din from F105 and you, Chris, on stage performing.
You know what? I
music.
hope I want to be on that stage. Din had recently told me, I think yesterday, the timing of it, and I might. Here's the thing about Celebration. You guys might be able to relate to this. This overlap. It's like two stages at a music festival, right? It's like, how can you be at all? Sometimes music fests have 3 stages. How can you be at all these different places at one time? I feel like I can be at the beginning of your event, but I don't know if I can be at the end of your event because I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm going to the Angels Star Wars night that night. I might have to sacrifice my stage time with Din for the bobblehead that they're giving away at Angel Stadium. I just feel like there's so much going on at Celebration. Do you guys have Star Wars Celebration stress right now?
We've had Star Wars Celebration stress since 2020. And that's when they pulled the plug. And we said, you know what? We still want a celebration. So we did our own Star Wars celebration, but we called it Force Fest, which was a virtual convention. And it was a really, really fun time. And since then, we've been counting down the days to Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, which is just 8 days away.
8 days away.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I feel like, yesterday it was like 2 months, and it's like, oh, we got time to look at the schedule, the panel schedule, have time to look at the autograph signing times and the photo op signing times. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, it is 8 days away. That's going to be a week from tomorrow. It's very, very, it is stressful. I'm glad that you guys can share that level of stress with me since 2020. You guys are also doing something that one of the things that we like to do here on Machtails from the Cantina is we like to connect the small world dots. And you guys are doing a panel on Thursday at 3:00 that's going to take us through generations of Star Wars fandom. Now, my good friend, and he was in my first documentary, The Force Among Us. He was also the main reason why Ashley Eckstein was in my second documentary, The Force Within Us. But Dan Madsen had told me he's doing a panel on Thursday at 3:00. And I'm like, it's Richard and Sarah's panel. And he goes, I'm part of that. And so tell me more about this. I am so happy that he is part of your event. What can fans expect from the panel that you guys are doing from the fan stage? And you know I will be there. That is not going to do a double overlap with anything. So I will be there front row and center. I'm excited about this, but I want to learn more. What do you guys have in store for that event?
Well, this is a panel we had done at Force Fest back in 2020, and it was so much fun because I've been in fandom since 1977. Yes, I saw Star Wars in the theater when it was first released, and going from the first generation all the way up until now, there's been a lot of high points and a lot of generations in fandom. So we had a lot of fun doing it at Force Fest. We thought, hey, let's do it live on stage. We'll have Dan Madsen and Craig Miller. And Craig Miller started the Star Wars fan club back in 1977, 78. He worked publicity on Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. He created Bantha Tracks. He was the one that because of his newsletters, we got news once every 4 months instead of once every 3 years. So he was there. He knows what it was like to be in Star Wars fandom in 1977 from behind the scenes. So we have Craig Miller, we have Dan Madsen, and we have a new special guest that we're just announcing. Sarah, do you want to go ahead and tell them who's going to be joining us?
Yes, we just got approval from Lucasfilm. Matt Martin, who is a creative executive, a senior creative executive now at Lucasfilm, will be joining us on the panel as well. And he'll be able to tell us what fandom is like now. So from the insider's perspective as well. So we are really looking forward to that. The last time we saw Matt Martin was on the Galactic Star Cruiser for that opening. So it was really cool to know how much he was involved in that. And so to see things from his perspective, and that's going to be just a really great panel, because we just love on Skywalking Through Neverland getting all the generations of fandom. And, you know, people who grew up with the Clone Wars, people who grew up with the prequels, people who grew up like Richard, people who grew up in the dark times like me. So that's like one of our specialities on our show.
So is Matt Martin, the announcement of Matt Martin, is that a Mocktails breaking news exclusive?
Other than Skywalking, yes, it just happened. So
congratulations on that, man. That is awesome news.
Yeah, so we're giving you the exclusive there, and we're so excited because he came in at the digital age of fandom, and he wasn't part of our panel at Force Fest, and so this is going to be all new information, and this is going to be a fantastic journey through fandom, going from times when we had to pick up an actual book. Remember those things? You'd flip pages and had numbers on them and letters. Remember those things? Now going through the digital age, which completely changes fandom. So we're gonna have a great discussion. The only downside is this is only an hour. They only give us 60 minutes. This should be like a 5-part series that day. There's so much to go through. So I forgive everyone if I talk really, really quickly. I'm from Boston, so I can talk really, really quickly if I need to, because we need to fit a lot of information in this one panel.
Okay, so you're from Boston. I have a feeling that Spencer's from Boston because he was wearing the Red Sox hat. It's like Boston night tonight. You know, Sarah, where are you from originally?
I'm from Austin.
Austin's a very, very cool city too.
Yes. So I can talk like this a little slower.
So here's the thing. Now your panel on Thursday at 3 p.m. with Dan Madsen and so many other great people. Now it's only an hour, but you guys probably have plans at least to incorporate them into your Skywalking Through Neverland podcast or maybe your Patreon stuff, right?
Oh yeah, they've been on our shows many, many times. But this this information is not going to be like a repeat of what you've heard on past shows. You may hear some other parts of the information you've heard on some shows come into this, because when you talk to Craig Miller or Dan Madsen or Matt Martin, you got to talk fandom. So they've been on the show before, but this is going to be a whole new discussion. And we're just so excited because I love fandom. And once again, I've been going to conventions since 1977 all the way up to today. So I've been there through thick and thin of Star Wars fandom.
Well, you know what? Because I'm a documentarian that loves to film fandom. Richard, I think you and Sarah need to be in my third and final documentary to complete the Force series, because I feel like you've like you said, you've been in it since where's my button? May 25th, the original Star Wars day. You've been there since the beginning, and there's something very special about people that have been there from the beginning. Not to take anything away from like my brother Tyler Page, because people like him and my brother that grew up on the prequels, I think there's a special thing about that generation as well, that they love to hear the history of fandom from us, and we like to see fandom through youth through the eyes of, let's say, the prequels. Maybe not so much the sequels, because I think the sequel generation is yet to grow But the prequel generation they're still there. They're going to Celebration next week,
And this may hit you very hard, but The Force Awakens was 7 years ago. 7
What?
years. 7 years. It feels like it's like 2 days ago. So there's there's a huge surge in fandom when it came to the Disney era, because now you have these little kids who are watching Star Wars for the first time, and they're watching it with their moms and dads. I can't tell you how many times I talked to moms and dads who are like, we watched Star Wars through the eyes of our kids, and it was the best day ever.
Yeah,
so there's another huge, big milestone in fandom when it comes to the new Star Wars Disney era films.
It's
I
funny.
would even conjecture, the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels brought in a ton of kids into Star Wars, which I think is just fabulous.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's so much to go through in this one panel. We'll be talking really, really quickly. So I'm sorry I didn't have time.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be very challenging for you guys to do that in an hour, because there's going to be a lot to cover. There is going to be a lot to cover. But one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you guys on the show was because this book that you had written about the history, this day in history of Star Wars. I know that's not the title. You could tell us the title, but
I'm not sure where it is. I have a copy right here somewhere.
Today in Star Wars History. Now, hold that book up for us again. Part
Today
1
in Star Wars History. Yeah, so I'm very glad you brought this up. I was trying to be inconspicuous here, but this is a book I started writing back in 1977 when I would go through all these magazines like Starlog and Fantastic Films and Famous Monsters, Bantha Tracks, and for some reason I would just be writing down these dates. They would say, have a date of something that happened, and I'd find myself writing it down. For what reason? I don't know, but I really love to do that. And pretty soon I had a notebook that was like yay thick of all these dates. And then when I got a computer, I entered up all these dates in my computer. And it's like, what am I going to do with all these dates? But I'm having a great time collecting these. And then I thought, maybe a book. That sounds like a fun idea. And this was like over 10 years ago. So, and I've been tinkering with it, but the last, I would say 5 years, I've been sitting down on my computer every single night, just writing entries here. There you go. Now, everything here.
That looks like a hardcover book.
Oh, there's a hardcover, and we have a soft cover as well. We have two different versions. This is just easier to show on camera.
Well, you know what? I still love books, and I think it's important to print books because it's such a part of our history. But the fact that you have a hardcover book, I think that is that's what Star Wars fans want. They want the hardcover book, and you can get the book through SkywalkingNetwork.com. Now, Sarah, did you have any part in this, or was this all Richard?
So I just want to preface this by for the past 5 years, every night, after dinner, I would go and watch TV or maybe do some editing or something. But Richard would go back to his office and write. And that's all he'd do for the past 5 years. He is like the hardest working person I know in fandom. I just want to put that out there. And so when he finally got to a point where we could get part 1 of this book all set and ready for celebration, I have a background in art and design, and I know all the Adobe suite. So I said, I will put your book in InDesign and do the layout and the design and all of that. So that is what we have been working on for the last half of this year, is getting all those words, making them look fantastic, designing the whole book. We wanted this to look very professional, and that was our goal. And I think it worked out. We have pictures for various dates. Each page in the book is a day in Star Wars history. So it's like a calendar. Yeah, there you go. Look at Richard and go up to the top, actually, Richard. So bring it down. Yeah. So each day will have the date right to it. And some of the days there's room for pictures that we've found all these pictures thanks to Brian Sims, who is a Star Wars fan and an amazing photographer. He's taken many photographs that we were able to use. I've put together some photographs. We took what was it about? Well, really, it was like this last 6 months to create the design and layout of this book. And it's been a labor of love. We even learned how to do an index, you guys. So if you have questions, the index is really interesting. You can go through it and be like, oh, hey, what's the Howard page, Richard? Wasn't there Howard Kazanjian? We got all the Howards.
Howard the Duck, Howard Kazanjian.
Now, I
Howard
would think that the index would probably be the hardest part of the book, because you're kind of taking all the, you're pretty much cataloging every time something happened on a page. What was the hardest part of this book, and what was the one thing that you guys found out that you did not know when you put these dates together?
Well, first of all, I got to say a big hey to John Zancanaro, who's watching. Hey, John.
Yeah, just saw that.
The hardest part about this was making sure everything in this book had been fact-checked 3, 4, 5, or 6 times, because I wanted this to be the ultimate reference Star Wars book. And I've written out to authors, actor Anthony Daniels helped me out with a couple of things. I've written out to publishers and just people who, and like Anthony Daniels, for instance, I would see some things like his appearance on a show, and I'd reach out to him and say, hey, I don't see any acknowledgement of this show on your IMDb or on your website or anywhere. Can you verify this is you? And I wrote him many times, and he write back and say, yep, that was me. Just because I wanted to make sure that everything in here was fact checked. I went to Bob Miller, who wrote many Star Wars bibliography books, Michael Coate, Justin Berger, people who all have expertise in one area or another in Star Wars. And they checked over everything, made a lot of corrections. They said, hey, you know what you have there, I see a lot of that everywhere else, but that's not correct. And people would show me where they got their facts. Like if I didn't have some kind of a citation, then I didn't put it in, because I wanted everyone to read this and go, wait a minute, where'd you get that piece of information? And then they can go look at the citation and see exactly where I got it. Are you ready for this one, Chris? Are you ready for this?
Absolutely.
The whole big May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
It's always been said that this was started by the London Evening News in 1979. And in 2011, that's what a website had written up, that this article appeared in 1979, and then every other website ran with it. That never happened. What this website was saying, that May the 4th be with you, started with a congratulations, Margaret Thatcher, on becoming the first prime minister. May the 4th be with you. If you look on that, you check on that on Google, you'll see a million articles that pop up with this ad. That was photoshopped. This never happened. And so one of my friends, Bob Miller, he actually called up the London Library and said, hey, can you get this issue, May 4th, 1979, and can you look through it and see if you can find this ad? They did that, and they said, yeah, that ad doesn't exist.
Oh my God. So who, you're saying that was created in...
That was fabricated by this website who just wanted a fun pun of the day. They May the 4th be with you, and they fabricated a story. So I had that in this book, but guess what? It's out. I couldn't put it in the book because it's not factual. It's a fun nugget. It's a fun read. It's a fun time in Star Wars history, but it didn't happen. It goes out. There's a lot of other things like Heir to the Empire. I would love to have this in the book, but guess what? We can't put it in the book because no one, not even Timothy Zahn, can verify the date of release. Because back in 1991, Del Rey would just ship books to Barnes & Noble or Walden Books, and they would put them out randomly. So there's not a specific date that came out. So guess what? It's out. I can't put it in the book because it's not factual. That's what I mean. The fact checking it took to go through every single one of these articles. It just took years and years. And something I've always wanted was, we've seen the Clone Wars and Rebels and Ewoks and droids, seen all those episodes, but can you really tell what happened on what episode? And characters like Ryder Azadi and Peppy Bo and Gar Saxon and Paxi Silo, but who are these characters? I know their names. So what I did is I went back and rewatched for the last 2 years every single episode of Star Wars, the Clone Wars Micro Series, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Resistance, Ewoks and Droids, all new Ewoks, the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, and I'd write concise summaries of those episodes. And now you can find summaries on Wikipedia, which are they're lengthy, they're good, but they're very lengthy. I wrote these summaries for as they went by in the plot points, so they weren't too long, but every plot point is in these summaries. And I would even say when a character was introduced or when a character had died in an episode, like General Tarpals. Like, oh, we know he died in the Clone Wars, but when? And even Peel, he died, but when was that? And I'm very detail oriented, so I put all of those facts in these summaries. And that alone just took so long. But hey, I got to watch all these episodes once again, and that was a fun trip down Star Wars TV land.
So I'm a very nostalgic guy. Like I'm sure you are. We're kind of from the same era. I'm a very big. This happened on this date. Like my wedding anniversary is May 24th. I relive that day. I'm sure you guys do that as well. I love baseball for the fact that, hey, this happened on this day. And, at this time, were you a history buff before Star Wars, or was it just Star Wars that put you in the state where you're like, I got to document every single day something happened in Star Wars history?
Oddly enough, I was a horrible history student. I didn't care about this stuff, but hey, if the teacher, hey, I know how many theaters The Empire Strikes Back played in. Does that count for something? Which
yeah,
by the way,
Richard, you've always been a numbers guy. Like you always remember people's phone numbers or the dates or the thing. Yeah, so I don't know. Numbers just stick in his head. So I think that's part of it.
I guess that's why I've always written down dates, because I've always been a numbers person. So yeah, Sarah, I think.
No, I've been my good friend John Duffy. Every time I have him on the show, he was in my Star Wars projects in the past. He goes, "You and those damn years." He goes, "You always remember the years and the dates." It's just one of those things that I like to celebrate. Now, would you say that 365 days in a year? Is there one day of the calendar that's represented, or is there a blank somewhere in that book?
No, every single year, even a leap year, February 29th, is all represented. Sometimes some dates will have 8 or 9 entries, and we had to take some out and go for the updated edition later on. We had to take some of those out because the book was just getting too thick. And we had to really pare it down to like, okay, what's the most important parts? Let's stick with that. And I made sure that every single date was covered. A couple of dates there weren't anything, but luckily the last couple of years, Star Wars news has been coming out so fast and furious. Like, June 10th. Hold on. I now have something in there. February 29th. Oh yes, I do have something like that now. Oh great. I got to point out that Rick Brendel in the chat says I got a book like that years ago. What he's talking about is Star Wars year by year. This is Star Wars day by day.
Okay. And you know what? I gotta shed my opinion on the importance of this book, because there's Google, there's your phone, but there's nothing like having a book. I feel like too, when you have the book in front of you, it's tangible and it's easier to just open it up, put it at your bedside. Wake up every morning. That's what I would do with the book. I want to buy the book. Can I buy the book at the Boonta Classic?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You're going to have it there. I want to wake up every morning and just kind of, okay, today is March 13th. I want to see what happened on my brother's birthday in Star Wars history.
Yeah, and I got to apologize to Sarah, because we had the book locked. It's all set, Rich. You can't change anything else. But Sarah, an Obi-Wan trailer just came out. We need to make an edition. No, Rich, no. It's like, okay, I won't.
No, okay. Now, Richard, I got to bust your balls a little bit. And I got to give Sarah some kudos here. Why is your name on the cover, but Sarah's is not?
Well, because I'm the author. It's by me, and believe me, Sarah's name is all throughout the book.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm also, yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, he's the author. He's the one who's been working on this. Like I said, he's the hardest working person I know. So, yeah, he deserves that credit. And I am on what is that page where it says the ISBN number and all that stuff?
Like the credits, the credit page.
That's where like the illustrator is, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we even have this picture here.
There too. Yeah.
It's us at Galaxy's Edge.
I got to ask you guys, what day were you guys married on? Were you guys married on a special Star Wars day?
We were married on October 25th, which is, you get the number 25 in there.
Yeah, 25, yes. 20. Now, I got to tell you, I'm sure there's something in that book, October 25th, that relates to your wedding day. I'm sure. No?
You know, as much as I wanted to add a lot of like personal stuff, I didn't think that was going to be, it wouldn't really be necessary for a book like this. I didn't want this to be a fan book, but more of the in-universe and out-of-universe.
But did anything Star Wars universe-wise happen on October 25th?
You know what? That's in volume 2. This right here.
That's in volume 2. This
is January through June, because it was getting really, really thick. And Sarah said, "Rich, we got to do this in 2 volumes."
Because when is volume 2 coming out?
Volume 2 is coming out on Life Day of this year. That is November 17th.
November 17th.
The Star Wars Holiday Special Life Day.
Nice.
But I do have to add. Sorry, I do have to add about something personal. Some of the pictures are a little personal. Like there's a few pictures with us in them because Richard and I, since 2013, starting our podcast, we've been lucky enough to be invited to press events by Lucasfilm. So a number of pictures are from these press events. Most of them are just of like celebrities, but some of them do have like us in it. Yeah, that was a Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars Resistance press events for Bobby Moynihan there. So that's a good picture to use.
And look, there's and for Eric Walker's in here on his birthday. And here we went to Galaxy's Edge together. And this is him in the pilot seat of the Millennium Falcon on Smuggler's Run.
For the very first time. Very cute.
But what I really want to point out as well is that why are some months important? So here's me. Here's me right there. And I would script out something, a preface to every month saying why I feel like this month is important. Kind of give it more of a personal take.
Yes.
And I really wanted to give it a personal take. And I know I said this is not really a fan book, but maybe in a way it is, because when I first wrote it, I've had a lot of people look at it and go, "Rich, you need more stories in here. Let's have people know who you are as an author." It's like, yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Everyone always says when you're going to do something, make it personal. People will connect with you that way. It's like, oh, okay. So I did that. So before every month is a preface as to why I think that month has a lot of big Star Wars highlights. And then at the end of every month,
in Star Wars,
right? At the end of every month, there's a Star Wars trivia quiz. So let's see, what kind of things that you picked up. So, like, let's see here.
Ooh, give us a question.
Like here, like every month, we've got a quiz about the month. All right, I'll ask you a question here. Okay, this is going to be a softball. What attraction opens in Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland? These are all January questions.
Oh.
What attraction opens at Disney? That would be Star Tours.
No.
In January, though.
Yeah.
In Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, yeah, Galaxy's Edge. The Millennium Falcon.
Did you say Rise of the Resistance? Then you'd be right. You'd be so right.
I did. My mind automatically goes to Star Tours when we talk about Star Wars history. But that's the great thing about your book, is that you have contemporary things that happen in the Star Wars world. And you guys do the show Skywalking Through Neverland. You guys are obviously Disney enthusiasts, I would say. I want to play a little game with you guys that I've always done with couples on the show. This is called Agree to Disagree. So I want to ask you some questions that I want to find out how, because you guys seem like a dynamic duo. You guys work together on the book. You guys work together on the podcast. You guys are obviously doing so much at Star Wars Celebration together. You're a team. You're like my wife and I.
Yeah.
Except my wife is not a Star Wars freak like I am, but you guys have that in common. So I'm going to ask you some questions. You guys throw up your signs, agree or disagree, and we'll just kind of, nobody's keeping score on this, but we're just going to see how in tune you guys really are.
Okay, if I win, this will be in the second edition of Today in Star Wars History.
Okay. Which is May 18th, 8 days before Star Wars Celebration, 7 days before May 25th. The Disney era is better than the Lucas era. Agree or disagree? Disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, you disagree that the Disney. Okay, so you like the Lucas era better, Sarah?
Well, it kind of depends on if you're talking about films or TV.
Just in
Because I would
general.
have to say TV is better, but films not as
Okay,
good.
so Richard, you guys are on the same page. Richard threw up both. He agreed
I
and disagreed.
there's pros and cons to both sides, and I could fight for both
Yes.
sides.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Han Solo was more attractive than Luke, and Richard, you have to answer this question. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, Richard, I've seen you do the cosplay of Luke Skywalker from the holiday special, so of course you're going to disagree that Han Solo is more attractive. Sarah, obviously, when you were a kid, when you were young, did you have?
Oh, Han was my crush. I mean, come on, it's Han Solo is like my favorite Star Wars character. Harrison Ford is hot. Yeah.
On our second date, she wanted me to dress up as Han Solo.
Yep.
Okay,
He did.
I've got the suit, so all right. But
All right, so
little did she know,
everybody knows that this show is 21 and over. It's a little bit more PG. Sarah, would you say that would be your hall pass would be Han Solo?
Sure.
You can say
Yes.
it.
Okay,
Now,
Greedo
but
shot
Sarah
first.
did not specify what outfit she wanted me to dress up in our second date, so I came as the carbon froze Han Solo.
It was a weird date.
It wasn't.
Hopefully that went over well for. Well, obviously it did because you guys have been married for how many years, right? All right, Greedo shot first. Agree or disagree?
Um.
Okay, we're off a little bit on this. Okay, my co-host, because you guys co-host the podcast together, my co-host talks more than me. Okay. You're on to say, well, rewind. Greedo shot first.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, are you talking about us on the podcast?
Yeah, I'm talking about
I didn't
you on
understand the
podcast.
question.
No, I'm talking about you guys.
Oh.
The co-host, which is you guys,
Okay.
co-host talks more than me. So
So yes, I would say agree, but that's because I do a lot of technical stuff behind the scenes, so he has to kind of drive the conversation. So that's why he talks more than me. There's a reason.
I'm a big talker. I've got stories for everything. You name one. I'm looking right behind you, Chris, and I can see all those toys. I got a story for everything.
Hey, well, we will have you back on the show because I know you guys have another recording to do in about 11 minutes. And I appreciate you guys being on the show. Thank you again so much. my co-host does more work than me. This is for you guys again. My co-host does more work for me.
I would say yeah.
I'll say yes.
Okay. Now that's teamwork, right? Because you got the technical side, you got the talking side. You know,
Yes.
It's
Sarah
good
does a lot of
that
the
you're on
creative
the same-
side, and I do a lot of the writing, and the editing will split up, and it all depends
Right.
on week to week.
Richard does a lot of pre-production. I do a lot of post-production, and we kind of still split stuff up, though. Yeah.
But the most important thing is when you have that kind of partnership, it's good that you agree on the amount of work that you put into it, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for fun. We're creating this content for the fans because we love to do what we do. And I want to thank you guys for doing what you guys do for the fans. And I'm looking forward to what you guys have in store for Celebration. And I'm looking forward to attending those as well. My next question is, my better half is more of a Star Wars nut than I am.
I don't know. No.
When you're talking about Han Solo and Poe Dameron, yeah. When talking about
And Matt
Lou
Lanter?
Gibbs and classic Marvel Star Wars comics, and come on.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys have your niche, right? May 25th is the real Star Wars Day.
Oh. I mean, Richard has hard feelings about that one. I'm
I do too. Me and Richard are on the same page with it.
Yeah, but we'll just say May is Star Wars month.
May is Star Wars month, yes. May is Star Wars month. I would not be so sensitive if I was not a sensitive guy and that was my birthday.
Well, there you go. You have more reason. And boy, I think that entry is the most filled entry date of all of the dates, because you have Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Solo, all released on the same day.
Let's not forget, it was Frank Oz's birthday.
Frank Oz's birthday, yes.
Let's not forget.
And can't forget your birthday.
Amen to that. The prequels are better than the sequels. The prequels are better than the sequels. Richard, for an old school guy,
you know what? You know what? I don't like to play favorites when it comes to Star Wars. I love them all.
Amen to that. I can agree with that. I know because there's been this fan division between everything, and I feel like I still love the sequels. There's something special about the prequels, though. I think that's what we waited for so many years.
Yeah.
The sequels were kind of dangling. It was George's idea, but he's like, I'm done with Star Wars. Then Rick McCallum said at Star Wars Celebration Europe, the way that George is spending his money, he needs to make 7, 8, 9. And then, of course, we know the rest of the story, which is history. Yeah, you know what? I do like the sequels, but I do like the prequels a little bit more. Okay, Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie.
Oh. When you try to get Richard to rank, he's not going to rank it. I have something to put out there, though.
Yes,
in all the Disney era films, Solo is my favorite. I love Solo.
Wait, Solo is better than Rogue One?
Yes, I love Solo. I think Solo is a fun watch. It's the one I've watched the most since they've all came out. Like, it's the one I'll put on to be like, oh, I want to feel good about Star Wars. I just love that film. It's just got so much in it. Rogue One is great, and it's got beautiful music and soundtrack, but it is depressing at the end. I mean, come on.
What I love about it. I love Antonio, producer Antonio from New Jersey chimes in. He loves Solo. You know what, awesome. Sarah? I respect your perspective. And yes, Rogue One is depressing. For some reason, that is okay. Here's my next question. Empire Strikes Back is better than A New Hope. Speaking about depressing. Okay, Empire. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm horrible at this game. I'm sorry.
But going back to Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back, I believe what made those films so great was the depressing element that drove out the emotion. And I think when we're attached to a film that makes us so emotional, like I've seen Rogue One 30 times, I cry every time. It's because of the emotion that it drags out of me. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's that's the film.
And I'm sure because Rogue One has got so many Star Wars connections and Easter eggs, and you know that Rogue One takes place hours before A New Hope, and it leads into the film so beautifully.
So I asked you earlier, Han Solo is more attractive than Luke. I'm going to ask you an opposite question. Padme is more stunning than Princess Leia.
Oh, I can't answer that.
Yeah, we're just horrible at this. We're sorry.
Hey,
they're both stunning women.
Yeah.
That is okay because you guys, I feel like we're on the same page more so than not. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again at Star Wars Celebration. I remember I was just at McCormick Place yesterday, and I remember seeing you guys at the Marriott in the lobby. Yeah. And when I was walking through there yesterday when I was working, I'm like, I'm gonna talk to you guys on my show tonight, and I'm gonna see you guys next week. So before I let you go, we got 2 minutes left before you guys got to get to the next gig. What 3 things do you need to bring to Celebration? 3 things that you must bring.
Okay.
It could be a poster tube. It could be spray for people crop dusting.
All right. Number 1, you must bring a good attitude. If you want to come there and expect to fight with someone over Jar Jar, or you didn't like the sequels, you know what? Wait outside. This convention's got no place for you. And honestly, I've never really seen a lot of fan toxicity at Star Wars Celebration, but just put it out there. Bring a good attitude. Come and have fun. It's the first time we've all seen each other in years.
Yes,
so keep that in mind.
Amen to that.
I love that one.
Yeah. Sarah?
On a very practical level, if you are cosplaying or bringing any kind of costume-ish thing of any type, bring a little pack of pins, tape, or safety pins. Just have that on hand. That's always good to have. So you know, for emergencies. Yes, yes.
And in your little kit, your kit with the pins and stuff, put a little deodorant in there, little Axe body spray maybe, something because you do get a little sweaty in these places.
People do not like smelly people, and even though we're still practicing 6 feet away, we can still smell bad body odor.
Yeah, so it really
with masks on.
It really helps. I'm saying, okay, number 2, bring a small backpack. Don't bring one of those huge tents that they hang on your back. A small backpack. How many times have you been hit by a large backpack at a convention? Someone turns around, knocks over a whole table, all the action figures go flying around. You hit people of all sizes because you're not looking, because this backpack extends about 3 feet from your back. Don't bring that. Bring a little rolling cart maybe, but a small backpack. That's all you need.
Yeah, they make the little lounge flies now. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Sarah, what's number 2 for you?
Okay, I say if you have something to promote, or like a podcast or YouTube or whatever, have that pin or button or business card or
Machtails
swag.
from the cantina.
Exactly. Make sure you have that within super easy reach. Have like little pocket whoosh. You can whip it out. Oh, you wanna listen to this? Bam.
Yes.
Just have it ready to go.
You know what? I thank you for saying that, because when I was at ICC-Con, I had buttons in my backpack, and I'm like, not my big backpack, my medium-sized backpack. And I'm like, well, let me get you a pin. Yes, it needs to be easily accessible because you're talking to people on the fly. Amen to that. Do you guys have anything that you're giving out at Celebration?
Why, yes, we are. We have a bookmark with all of the, there you go, every one of the categories in Today in Star Wars history, all color-coded. So if you want to go to home video or streaming, you know that it's in pink. You want to go to merchandise? Well, that's more of a fuchsia. You want to go to production? That's green. Very, very easy to find. We have this. We have a Today in Star Wars history button right over here. And We have a Skywalking Network button.
Nice.
But I do have to say that
And a
Today
bag.
in Star Wars, yes, but the bag and the Today in Star Wars History button are going to be exclusive to the pre-order of the book. Or if you buy a book from us at the convention, you will get this bag, which is actually quite a big bag. It holds a lot of stuff, and that button for free. The Skywalking Network button will be giving away. But yeah, you can get your signed autographed copy of Today in Star Wars History at the convention if you see us, or you can pre-order to make sure you are going to get one. You can pre-order on our website, skywalkingnetwork.com/book, right there. And that way you can either pre-order to pick up at the convention, or you can pre-order to be sent mailed to your home. And we do have to say that the price points, the soft cover is $25 and the hardcover is $50. The hardcover, we tried to keep it at those price points. The hardcover does have some beautiful paper though. Like we upped the paper, we upped, it's the hardcover. So it's really pretty. It's a really great book. The paperback is, the option for people who can't quite afford that hardcover. And we totally understand that. Like, yeah, we wanted to make sure we had all different options available for everyone.
I would say definitely go with the hardcover. I know you guys are on I know we got to let you guys go because you guys are going on to your next gig. But share with me the third and final thing to bring to Celebration. Third and final thing to bring to Celebration.
Vitamin C. Lots of packs of emergency vitamin C, zinc, green tea extract, whatever you can to keep yourself very, very healthy, and bring a good, maybe an elbow punch or a fist bump instead of the handshake, because this virus is still around. We want to make sure that
start your courses now. Get ready, get your immunity up before the convention.
Yes, exactly. Sarah, how about you? Third and final thing you want to share with us to bring?
I would definitely second that. Yeah, and just that vitamin C, the zinc, all that fun stuff. Even with all the masking, you just want to be careful out there.
You guys are no strangers to Star Wars Celebration or conventions. Concord exists. Hey, I want to thank you guys both for being on the show tonight. I cannot wait to see you guys at the Boonta Classic, which is going to be Wednesday, May 25th, starting at 4. Then we have you guys on Thursday at the fan stage at 3 o'clock. And then also the variety show, which I hope to be part of on Friday. But if not, I'm going to spend definitely some time with you guys. Looking forward to seeing you. Be well, be safe, and travel well.
Oh, and one more thing. We're having another panel on May 28th called Celebrating the Ewok Adventures. And this is we're celebrating the Ewok TV movies because they're so unrepresented at Celebration. And
yes.
As far as I know, we've never seen an Ewok celebration panel at conventions until now. Eric Walker, who played Mace Tuwani in both Ewok movies. Kevin Thompson, who played Chukatruck on the Ewok Adventure. He did a lot of stunts in the Ewoks Battle for Endor. We're going to have maybe another special guest. And Eric Walker took all these personal behind-the-scenes pictures when he was making the movie. So we're going to put up those on the big screen, and the two will reminisce and tell funny stories about the making of the movie. We'd have to show some fun clips and maybe some recreations of a scene. A lot of fun time there. Once again, Saturday, May 28th at 12 p.m. on the fan stage at Star Wars Celebration.
Hey, looking forward to seeing you guys there. Be well, be safe, and we will see you guys in Anaheim.
Oh, see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to bring on before I end the show. We're over the hour. I want to thank my guests, Richard and Sarah and Spencer, for joining me on the show. But we're getting close to Celebration, and we as Star Wars fans are used to 2-hour podcasts. I want to bring back my brother, Tyler Page. Tyler, it looks like the comments.
Hey.
The comments. You can't keep up with the comments tonight, can you?
No, there's a lot of them tonight. Some of them I accidentally clicked, but
But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I don't know. We can't get to them all. God, is this what Machtails is going to be? It's like my friend David Gladding down in Florida said, when you come to Machtails from the Cantina, it's like the Olive Garden. you're here, your family, right? I think you know what? You and Boston Dan had said when we go to Celebration, you feel like Celebration is going to put Machtails a little on the map. I did not believe you until I started promoting today the live event on Sunday, May 29th, and the response that I had. I got a feeling, I have a strong feeling that based on the size of Unsung Brewing, I don't believe that everybody's going to be able to get inside.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's not a giant place.
Get there early, right? You know,
get there early. Get a poster. Get that poster for.
I want that poster. I'm staying in the same house. I got to show up early still. So
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an army going into battle. Yeah. But Tyler, I have to tell you, we've been sharing things to bring to Celebration, and my list is growing. I am concerned about my sleep, and I am concerned about my hydration.
You should be.
Do you have any concerns when it comes to Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah. You know, I would say we're gonna have that Kenobi night where we're staying up until 4 a.m. And I think from then on, it's game over. Like I'm just gonna be energy drink. I told my buddy, I was like, that's just gonna be uppers and downers the rest of the weekend, man. I'm just gonna be riding that wave, and it's gonna be horrible. So.
You know, I don't know. Matthew Rooney's chiming in. He's the producer. It's a great show. You know what? I have to tell you, the Kenobi night, you can count me out, my friend. I'm not smoking any pot at Celebration, and I am not doing Kenobi night. We are going to be talking about these things tomorrow when we have the Babu Freaks on. We are going to be accompanied by Suds. He is going to be co-hosting, if you will, or special guest host, and he's going to get really down to the nitty-gritty of our Star Wars Celebration plans. But I got to tell you, man, I have started to have Celebration anxiety because of, like, even when you, like, sending me the Kelly Marie Tran times, I'm like, oh my God.
It's next weekend, you know?
it's next weekend. There's so much going on between the photo ops, the autograph ops, the panel stuff. I finally broke down and I told Sean yesterday. I said, you know what, Sean? I said, you know what? I think I might start my day a little later.
On Sunday?
And he goes, well, how late? He's like, I got the mashups going on. It's Saturday at 9:30 a.m. I need you there. And I'm like, you know what? When I say late, I mean, I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. to stand in line for 3 hours to get into the fucking place.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it because there is so much cool shit happening at night. I don't want to. Here's the thing. Cool stuff happening at night. You wake up at 6 a.m. to stand in line for 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever, 2 hours even. Mm-hmm. You're going to be wiped out before that next cool thing at night happens.
Yeah, right? No matter how many red lines you have on you. That's what you drink, right? That weird Aldi.
The red lines. Yeah, now the red lines are not recommended or they're not prescribed. But I think I'm going to break out the red lines. It's funny that you remember that because I'm sure you're going to be turned on to one.
Probably.
At Celebration 10. Because I swear that is like spinach in a can. Spinach in a can for Popeye. Are you free? Do you have the anxiety that I have about this shit? You know?
I mean, I definitely have anxiety, but you know, now that I've got all the money in for the houses and all the money out, and I know.
Oh, you got all the money in?
Not all of it, but I know who owes me what. You know, I feel a little bit better. That was my big anxiety. So your anxiety was more based around like, hey, I got to collect from 17 people. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, Matt Rooney chimes in, lines suck, just chill and have fun with friends. You know, Matt, I agree with that on a level. Here's the thing. My brother, Bo Glazer, that's no longer with us, when he went to Celebration in Anaheim, he said that he met his line family. So line family are the people that you meet, that you talk to for the 3 hours that you're in line. But I really want to see panels. I want to hang out with people too. You kind of got to have the happy medium. You got to be you got to have a little bit of a priority, but you got to, hang out with your friends. This is coming up on us too fast, don't you think?
I want to say something about the lines. That's a horrible selling point that the Celebration has had, is like, oh, you're going to meet friends you'll have forever. And I've seen friend groups, you meet the one time at Celebration and then you kind of go your separate ways. I've seen people stay together for a while. It's a way to make the horrible not as bad. So I don't know. I'm not going to be standing in any line soon. Matthew Rooney knows that. Me and him skipped the line at ICCC, and we just hung out in the lobby and had a good time.
I don't mind hanging out in a line for an hour, but I don't want to hang out in a line for a long time. Andy from Miami, Patreon #1, chimes in, says, "Oh my God, Chris, red line is horrible. That's crack in a bottle. I personally like to think that's cocaine in a bottle." He says, "Try Celsius or Zoa Energy. You know what? But does it have the power of the red line? I don't know. We're going to find out. Try Celsius or Zoa. Andy, you have my cell phone number. Please text that to me. Tyler, we're getting closer and closer to Celebration, as I've repeated so many times. What are you looking forward to the most? Top 3 things for you, my brother.
Top 3, easy. First is RFR Bash. That is going to be amazing. I know there's obviously some stuff to compete with, but RFR is, for me, that's going to be where it's going to be at, man.
I think for a lot of people, RFR is kind of like the home channel, right? It's the home base. You can't miss that if you're an RFR fan.
Yeah, exactly. RFR hardcore's got to be there. Second is going to be watching Kenobi with everyone, or answering calls.
I will not be doing that,
man. But that's the highlight for me. And then, to be honest, third is just having a break from everything and feeling that communal feeling when you walk in the show floor and you're like, everyone here is just for Star Wars. And like there is definitely like a certain communal vibe you only, or I'm not going to say you only get, but it's highlighted specifically at Celebration. So I'm looking forward to that feeling.
Amen to that, man. You know what? I do believe that there is a special feeling at Celebration that you don't get anywhere else. And even though it's become as big as it has, there's still something that is very reminiscent of the old days and the true fandom. And like Richard said, he's like, I never experienced any bad juju at a Celebration, fighting about Jar Jar or Greedo shot first or anything like that. It's been nothing but good vibes. And that's exactly what Celebration is,
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, that's exactly what like ICC Con might not have. They don't have that Celebration magic. They got the old school con magic going for sure, that intimacy that you might not get at Celebration, but you're going to get that at the RFR Bash.
Yeah,
and you're going to get that at the Machtails live event at Unsung Brewing. I feel like it's so cool, and I remind myself of this. Jimmy and Jason are starting off the weekend, and I'd like to think that I'm capping off the weekend at Unsung, and I feel like it's a cool little circle, It's a circle of Star Wars fandom,
Yeah, that cross section there where you have the Mocktails fans and the RFR fans, it's going to be very niche and very communal. And any of the new people that show up to Unsung, I feel like we're going to welcome them with open arms because they came out, man, and we're just there to have a good time.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. And I think everybody that comes out to both of those events, RFR or the Mocktails event, I believe that they are there for the reason of the communal feeling and, just the organic and the innocence and the purity of Star Wars fandom that Rebel Force Radio and Mocktails from the Cantina kind of celebrates, if you will. You know?
For sure, man.
So tomorrow night on tomorrow night's show, Rich is chiming in. Rich says, "Oh shit, I'm stepping on your toes, Tyler." Tyler and I both have controls over this. Number one for Rich is hanging out with Tyler and Chris. I love you, Rich. Amen to that. I'm looking forward to that. And he also says, Dan, Ian, Dale, and the rest of the super friends. Hanging out in those houses is going to be surreal and a little bit of reminiscent of when we filmed The Real Fans of the Saga. Because the only place that I've rented a house before was Anaheim. Never Celebration Orlando. It's going to bring back some good memories. Nothing but good memories, for sure. And I am looking forward to it. I'm going to save a lot of the other conversation for tomorrow. Tomorrow we got Sean Hines is going to join the final pre-celebration show for some Star Wars Celebration hijinks. We also have his name is not in front of me. Please forgive me. The man that's responsible for the swag crew. I have so much in front of me, but his name is not. Hey, I'm being honest. I'm being transparent. And we have a Babu Freaks reunion minus Jimmy. I'll explain that a little bit later tomorrow. I'm an honorary member. The main core is Tyler, Barry, and Brian. I'm an honorary member. It's a RFR Patreon exclusive, but Jimmy and I, we roll and smoke the same thing. So we like to share. They're going to be on the show tomorrow, along with producer Todd Suds Sedlak. But before I let you guys go, and I'm only going to do, you know what, Tyler, give me a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. Okay, we're going to pick 3 names. If you're not here, you can't win. You got to tune in. Michael Adams, Patreon member Michael Adams. If you're here, please post in the comments. Feezy chimes in. Who's meeting Ewan? Ewan? I always say Ewan. That's how I pronounce his name. John Zacanaro says, just pick me and make it easy. I am meeting Ewan McGregor with my good friend Sean Hines. I'm doing a photo op. AJ Drake. It's John Drake's brother. Is AJ in the house? The next one is AJ. We got AJ and Michael Adams, Patreon members. Cody Moore. Cody, I know you chime in live. Is Cody Moore here? He just upped. Mall Walker. Mall Walker's here, right? Good evening, fellas. Cody Moore won the prize. Cody Moore. And Cody, thank you again for upping. You see, now the fact that you upped your Patreon membership, that got you into the raffle, my friend. And tonight you won. So good things are happening. Good things are happening. There's a lot of people that won prizes on the last couple weeks show. I want to give them a shout out. We got Antonio, producer Antonio from New Jersey. We got Matt Rooney, my brother Tyler Page, and Dale Morris. You guys will get your prizes before the month ends. Thank you again. Be sure to check us out on Patreon. $2 a month is all I need. It gets you the exclusive podcast weekly episode. $5 gets you into the name draw like Cody Moore, and gets you access into the Wampa Cave and so much more. Thank you again for chiming in, for tuning in, and dropping out. We will catch you guys next time, which is tomorrow on Mocktails from the Cantina Live. Chut chut and choo choo, boyos. So long, everybody.